The man to beat me haven't been born yet.
Feel the presence of a prophet that God sent you from heaven. Open you open eyes, realize you in the game. Fighting fire with fire, but our fire's blue flame. It's the same game, different name. Better take an aim, better go make a move or it's gonna always stay the same. Revolution, revolution, revolution. Kills up revolution, 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 revolution. That's the solution. Revolution, revolution.
How's it going, folks? Wicksack Info Bros. I wanted to take everybody over here to constitutionfacts.com. If you don't know by now, I'm an expert on the Constitution and the Founding Fathers. So I just wanted to give everybody, because I think people might be under the impression that, maybe they don't read this because they think it's too hard to understand or something, kind of like the Bible. Like they put the Bible in plain text, but a lot of people still can't read it, like me. So, I gotta go and have someone like Steve Quayle or somebody explain it to me, like a kid. But it is true, the Constitution and Declaration, Bill of Rights, they were pretty, you gotta follow them to understand them. But sometimes you'll hear people asking others what their favorite part of the Constitution is, and people have no clue what they're talking about. There's many different parts of the Constitution, folks. I'm about to take you through what I think is probably the most important part of the Constitution, and I'm just gonna read a few of them out for you. Come over here to constitutionfacts.com. Then you want to come to Articles of the Confederation. Come down and read the articles. I want to show you how simple these are. There's not a lot of them, as you can see. I'm just going to read a couple of them out to you that really have some meaning and some punch behind them. These are powerful words. They're all in this little book. This tiny book. Look at this thing. Look. Fuck is that? You mean to tell me you can't learn that? Come on. Just listen to this and tell me that you yourself couldn't make a change. We're just going to go right to Article 2. Each state retains its sovereignty, freedom, and independence, and every power, jurisdiction, and right which is not by this Confederation expressly delegated to the United States and Congress assembled. The said states hereby severally enter into a firm league of friendship with each other, for their common defense, the security of their liberties, and their mutual and general welfare, binding themselves to assist each other against all force offered to or attacks made upon them or any of them on account of religion, sovereignty, trade, or any other pretense whatsoever. Now I can get that. If you can get it, we're going somewhere. Stick with me, folks. Okay, this just goes on to talk about different states' rights. Now, I want to get to the crux of things here. Go down to Article 5. For the most convenient management of the general interest of the United States, delegates shall be annually, meaning every year, appointed in such a manner as the legislators of each state shall direct to meet in Congress on the first Monday in November. That's, remember, the 5th of November. Hello. In every year, with a power reserved to each state to recall its delegates. Talking about the right to redress the grievances here, which a lot of states are having taken from them. And slowly but surely, they're taking them from Sacramento. Each state shall maintain its own delegates in meeting of the states, and while they act as members of the Committee of the States. Okay, no two or more states shall enter into any treaty, confederation, or alliance, whatever between them, without the consent of the United States Congress. This is one of the articles that pretty much gives, all the rules of Congress. That, I mean, you have no idea how much power Congress has. So don't think it's just fucking bullshit when somebody says, don't call your congressman. That's just, it's a waste of time. It depends what kind of congressman you have. If you got a fucking scumbag schmuck, like these asshats in office in Washington, probably. If you got a real fucking person who knows about this document, about all these documents, they're probably somebody you want to have their back. Folks, you got to have your congressman's back. If you believe in somebody and you know that they believe in the Constitution and the founding of this country, you got to have their back. That's why so many people are afraid to speak out. You got to support them. There's good people in government and there's bad people in government. The problem is a majority is bad. So the good guys got to keep their mouths shut. Because if they don't, then they'll just be replaced with another bad guy. But as long as they're there, they're still there. There's that little door, there's that little foot in the door that they're preventing. So even if they are scumbags, but you know that they're not doing the right thing, you got to show some credit and give them some leeway because they're really trying to do it. Let me tell you how this works. As far as I know, and I've studied this for years, how can I put this easily? Everybody in Congress is screwed the fucking day they get in. How's that? Let me put it this way. Let's say it's your first day in Congress. You're having a big meeting in the chambers with all the congressmen. It's for all the new congressmen. There's a computer at a desk. You go to sit down. As soon as you sit down, they start, the people above you start spewing their agenda. And it's probably the only place where these scumbags like Obama and Bush and, all them fucking, your regular scumbag, that is probably the only place where you will hear them saying what their real intentions are. The only problem with that is it's executive session. The only people who get to hear it are executives. People in the executive branch. That's why you never hear it. And you wouldn't believe how many people in Congress have come out and have said that they've been intimidated, threatened with arrest, threatened with death. And I'm going to go into that because I got a lot of video on it. I got actual video of congressmen in fucking session saying that they were threatened with martial law and that they may even be killed if they voted no on a bill that the government wanted passed. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go into this one again because, I mean, it's just way too much stuff. So this is why I picked certain ones. But, anywho, let's come down here to 7. When land forces are raised by any state for the common defense, all officers of or under the rank of colonel shall be appointed by the legislature of each state respectively. This would be your National Guard shit, by whom such forces shall be raised, or in such a manner as such state shall direct, and all vacancies shall be filled up by the state which first made the appointment. In other words, if you're asking for a war, if you're pushing a fucking war, on another country that doesn't deserve it, then you are going to go to the front lines. Not the fucking people that you pick, not who you want to go. This is saying that you will be at the front lines as president of your country. Tell me when the last time that was, that a fucking president was at the front lines of a war in this country. The last I remember, it was George Washington. Nowadays, they don't send their kids. They don't send their family and friends. They don't go themselves. They have a draft. So they get to pick who they want to see slaughtered. I would refer you to the greatest speech ever by Charlie Chaplin. If you've never heard it, I highly, highly suggest you go and listen to it. Very, very highly. In fact, if I was a part of the Constitution, I would enact that fucking Charlie Chaplin video into the Constitution. Government's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. George Washington. Now, you may think that Article 9 is a bit long. Well, let me break it down for you real quick. This is basically saying how Congress has the right to pretty much go around anybody or anything. Anybody or anything. The president's veto power don't mean shit. United Nations don't mean shit. NATO don't mean shit. You go through Congress, motherfucker. And if you don't like it, then your ass will be fucking out. End of story. If you got a fucking problem with it, then you'll be hung. Any other fucking questions? There's Article 9. The Committee of the States, or any 9 of them. Now see, this goes into Supreme Court shit, and I want to talk about that. The Committee of the States, or any 9 of them, shall be authorized to execute in the recess of Congress such of the powers of Congress as the United States and Congress assembled by the consent of the 9 states shall from time to time think expedient to vest them with, provided that no power be delegated to the said committee, for the exercise of which, hello, meaning no fucking one has power over the other. You know who's got the only power over anybody in this whole fucking country? The people have the power over government. Period. Paragraph, end of story. The government doesn't tell you. It could be you individually or you as a group of people. They don't tell you to do shit. You tell them what to do. Comprende? Capiche? Does anybody get that? I want to hear everybody. Who runs shit? Thank you. I'm going to get into more of these in depth. Like I said, it's just too much to cover. And just this small book, has power in it that you could not even conceive of unless you fully understood it. Please read it. Please check out my page and look up more about it. I'll have more videos on it. God bless and carry on.